Hi, my name is Fiona Nanozingoga, and I'm the founder of Rainbow Hearts Foundation. Well, a bit of a story about Rainbow Hearts Foundation. It's an organization really that's aimed at restoring hope in couples or individuals who are walking the journey of fertility. And I started this organization really from personal experience. There's several things that I went through before I got married that kind of indicated that I would have some issues, but because there's no proper diagnosis, I dived into that depth of the journey when I got married. But to cut the story short, I struggled with fertility and I had to end up using IVF to be able to have my children. And after having my children is when I realized that there's a lot that I had gone through without realizing. There's a lot of stigma that had been that had been extended to me. I had gone through depression, and there are several fears that I had really experienced along this journey, but I did not know while I was going through it, and I just really realized later. This being a month of women, I really want to talk about this issue because society has mystified it, or there's a lot of myths around infertility from the societal things, telling us that infertility is a problem of women. But the reason why I really came here today is to just put some light or shed some light on infertility, and just to let people know that this is a disease of both women and men. It is not just something that a woman goes through, but it's something that a man also suffers from. And because of what the society has told us, we find that many women are struggling personally, struggling in their marriages, struggling in society. Why? Because the society has told us that we are less than if we don't have children. Also because the society has dictated that the main role of a woman is to have children. So when you don't have children, it's like you have no value. And that is all not true. The reason why we try to talk about these issues of fertility is just to create awareness about it, and to just let people know that women are more than just baby makers. Women are more than just baby factories. There's a lot more to a woman's life. Like, you're more than a mother before. You're more than a mother. So you're someone. God created us to be someone before we are even someone's mother. Some of the things that I discovered while on this journey is that I had actually gone into a mental breakdown. There's a lot of depression, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety while you're walking this journey. And the reason why marriages are breaking, why relationships are breaking, is because we have failed to understand the support that we need to give to each other, and also that when a couple is struggling with fertility, it is not just a woman or not just a man, but you're struggling from this issue as a couple. So the support needs to be there. But also, one thing that I would like us to appreciate is that infertility impacts someone's quality of life. And when you look at someone's quality of life, this is from the financial bit of it, it's from the social aspect, economical aspect, from educational aspect, but also with our workplaces. And a bit of a story of what I went through when I was going through my fertility journey. So because at that time it was something very personal to me, and I do want to share my story with my workmates or even with my bosses, I had to leave work every day at some point when I was on my treatment to go and get my injections. And it became hard. Why? Because I started getting a lot of warnings from the office because I was absent. But the truth is, I wasn't absent because I wanted, but I was absent because I was on medication which I had to take, but also because there are days that I would wake up and I am totally out of it. There are days I would wake up and my mind is not there. I was going through a depression, but I did not understand it at that time. And one thing that I would advise people to look out for is some kind of help. When you're going through this journey of fertility, find a safe space for you to be able to talk about it. But also for our bosses, for our workmates, to be able to understand how to deal with some of these issues. Because I had people who used to come to me and ask, why aren't you, you're married, you've been married for this number of years, why don't you have children yet? But these people would ask me these things from a point of ignorance, because they did not know that at the time when they were asking me, I probably was going through an IVF cycle. So it causes a lot of turmoil and torture to the person who is receiving the information. But because of the ignorance of the people around them, there's a lot of comments or questions that are asked that are so unnecessary. So if I'm to go back to our workplaces, some of the bosses, our employers need to, I think, educate themselves about some of these things, because if you have an employee who is going through a fertility journey, this is a journey that goes on for about if it's treatment, it goes on for about 1.5 months. This person is going to probably be absent a lot of the time for that journey, but they are going to experience a lot of financial strain. So I have met some ladies who have taken out loans to do fertility treatment, but there's no guarantee. So the person takes out a loan, does treatment, and the treatment fails. The person now, people have reached the extent of selling property to do treatment. If our employees understand that if our employers understand that some of your employees might be struggling with very personal issues that are stretching them from very personal bits of their lives, financial, family-wise, and stuff like that, then maybe they'll be a bit more empathetic, or have more trainings, have more personal conversations with people, or create an environment that is allowing and accepting of someone to actually come and talk to you when they're going through struggles of fertility. I think some of the ways that we can be able to support people who are struggling with fertility is one, when it comes to family, let us try and keep the extended family out of this thing, because we know our in-laws are very opinionated, and which is very good, but I think there are some things that you don't need to step into or over ask about it, because you don't know what the couple might be struggling with. Sometimes the in-laws, let me say like the relatives of the man, are going to hound the lady, or even try to suggest other women for their son who is struggling. So we need to understand before we start bringing suggestions into the relationship, telling them you need to do this and that, because these guys also, I'm sure, have tried several things before you come to them and tell them that they need to be trying something. I think when it comes to the couple itself, there's a lot of support that is needed within the couple, because many times, because the society has told us that this issue of fertility is the woman's problem, the man is going to try to prove his manhood by stepping out of his marriage. Yet, if you actually work as a couple, if you go to the hospital together and find out, sometimes you're going to find out that it's your husband or it's a husband in the family who is experiencing the fertility. So for me, the advice is really, men, let us support our wives, especially when we are on this fertility journey. Why? Because your support does a whole lot of a difference. When this lady is going to the hospital for treatments, in case she's even the one with the treatment, you need to go with her. But I think one fun fact that maybe I should share with you is that on this journey of fertility, even when the man is struggling with the fertility in the relationship, the woman is going to experience all the treatment that is needed. She's going to experience all the physical things that are going to, the injection basically. She's going to be there to experience it for a month, to solve a man's problem. Now, there's a lot of technicality in that, but I think this just comes to show that the man needs to really support the wife. Whether it's the wife who is struggling, whether it's a man who is struggling, you need to help, you need to walk this journey with her, you need to show her that you're invested in this thing. Whether it's with the financial bit of it, whether it's just even the emotional help, it does a whole lot of a difference, because this journey takes a toll on someone. This journey is very lonely. So imagine if you're lonely in a marriage, you're lonely when you have a husband just next to you. Like, that is why we get into depressions, anxiety, stress, and all these kinds of things, which can actually be avoided if we have the support from the people very close to us. Let us try to be supportive to someone who you know might be struggling, but also to be sensitive with our questions and comments, especially at our workplaces, but actually everywhere, friends, family. Let us try and be sensitive with the questions that we ask, with the comments that we give, because you never know what someone is struggling with. Someone could have just had a miscarriage and you're asking them why they don't have a child. Someone could be going through fertility treatment and you're asking them why they don't have a child. So I hope that we learn to just be there for each other and to restore hope in those who need it, especially those who are walking their fertility journey. But in case you'd like to know more about what Rainbow Hearts Foundation does, if you have questions to ask about fertility, please do get in touch with us. There's going to be a link in the description box with our details, our website and what we do, but also a link to to our YouTube channel to just see some of the content that we're putting out there to restore hope in people who are walking their fertility journey. Happy Women's Day, and to the women out there, I hope that you enjoy your month of women. And to the men out there, please support your ladies, show them some love, and just love on them during this month of women.